Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, everybody, live from Harlem in New York City. Yes, it's the Ramble with me, and I'm Alex Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't recognize him from past appearances on our program, it's the lovely and attractive Chuck Farnham. Hello, Chuckles.
Hello, sir. I'm working on a Santa Claus outfit here, but I'm just not there yet.
Yeah. When are you gonna cut it back soon?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to go to one of those beard places and have them work on it.
Just trim it up. Get it.
Yeah, it needs. There's some.
I know.
curls back
It
here that
happens
don't
with
go
me all
away.
the time. I just before I came on, I had to kind of shave this a little bit because the
Yeah.
hairs were coming out.
And my hair didn't change color. My hair is still, brown. So it's like I got this brown on top and white everywhere else.
Well, people don't realize this. They don't know this about guys. They gray. Oh God, my eyes are tearing today too. You gray from the chin up.
Really?
So a lot of times you'll see guys still with brown hair, but they got
That's
a
me.
gray beard. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Eventually, it'll probably work your way to your hair. How old are you now?
67.
67. Okay. Medicare age.
Oh yeah, no, I'm on the list.
You're on the list?
Yeah, I get you can't do anything now. You go to a doctor's appointment or anything, and their system is set up so that anybody over 65
Yeah.
automatically Medicare.
Automatically Medicare. Well, a lot of times you're not automatically Medicare. Here's what happens. When I was working at Sirius XM, they had a medical plan.
Right.
Okay. And so because I was working for a company with a medical plan, Medicare became my secondary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, it worked like a secondary where whenever I went to a doctor, they would then, approve a certain amount as a secondary. So you don't have to pay that 20%.
Yeah, it's the opposite with me. I've got Blue Cross, and Blue Cross is now the secondary.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happens. We have, what do we have? We have AARP, I think, we use for our secondary.
Yeah.
And it costs us, you know how much it costs us a month? Almost $1,000.
Oh, nice.
Well, to begin with, we live in New York City, and I guess people get sicker here than anywhere else in the United States, so the rates are higher.
Right.
Here's what people, by the way, let me just say this, in case you're tired of hearing this stuff on this program. When we get to our age, 80, almost 86, how old are you now? 67?
67.
First thing you talk about, health.
Right.
Medical, how much you paying for supplemental? How much is that?
Right. What did your doctor say last visit? Blah, blah.
What will we be talking about when we were 40? Hey, so did you get laid this week?
Yeah, see, my whole vision of this is high school. They should have been teaching two things. Hey, you're going to get old, and home ec. Instead, we got that sex ed speech for 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have much rather learned how to, use a stove.
And they didn't exactly teach you how to fuck.
Yeah.
That wasn't the deal. They didn't teach you how to fuck. Hey, here's sex ed. Oh, here's where you put it in. And if you go back and forth nicely, it'll satisfy the woman.
I just remember the guy going, if anybody needs to talk to me privately, I'm available after class.
You know what was really funny? In high school, I had a what do you call it? A teacher. What do you call it? A teacher who was gay.
Oh.
And we kind of all knew it. I mean, he was
right.
It wasn't like sometimes people, when they're gay, they get infected with this gay something that makes them act a certain way. Okay, just like you ever notice cops all talk alike?
Right.
Yeah, there's this kind of thing you get when you're gay where you, oh, hey, look, yeah, it's different, right? And he was gay. We knew it. So now he was the head of, he taught psychology psychology. And we got to this book we're reading, chapter by chapter, this and
Sure.
that and that about psychology. And then there was a chapter on homosexuality. And he had us completely skip it.
Yeah, I was going to say, we did not have any of that in school.
What, they never taught you about when you were gay or not gay and so on?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I mean, they let me, when I went duck hunting at lunch, and I used to keep my shotgun in my locker, and that wasn't a problem.
You had a shotgun in your locker?
Yeah, but I didn't want anybody to rip it off out of the car, so I would bring it in the morning and put it in the locker.
Yeah, and then you went out. Then you went out hunting. What'd you do? Go get dinner? Was that what you were doing?
There was a place where we hunted ducks outside of town, and I could get to, and that would be our lunch hour. We'd be out there shooting ducks.
Now, if you
Bring 'em
shoot a
back.
duck, the duck goes in the water. How do you get the duck?
We took a guy with us who liked to do that.
Wait a minute. Don't you usually bring a dog and they go out and get
You
it?
do, but in our case, we bought David Frazier, and he would swim out and get the ducks.
He was your designated
He
bird
said
dog?
He wanted to go duck hunting with us, and that's,
He would jump in the water.
exactly, every time. Just boom, right in.
Oh, wow. Gee.
And the best part is, the pond we used for hunting
Yeah.
were the sewage ponds for the town. So it was not good looking around the edge,
And he jumped into that water?
every time.
Every time. Gee.
We all shook our heads and went, "Thank God David's here."
So you know how to
Get them ducks.
you know how to use a shotgun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I grew up in them, let's see, northern Wyoming,
Yeah.
southern Montana.
A
right
lot of
there.
times, I'm anti-gun, of course, but there are reasons to have a gun. And one of the
Right.
reasons is if you live in the wild, basically, where
Yeah.
there are wolves and moose. I hear moose are
Bears
very
and-
dangerous. I
Yeah.
saw this on an interview with somebody where moose are deadly. They will come charging at
yeah.
you.
And they got long legs. They run very fast.
Yeah. Oh, so you know moose.
Yeah.
What
I
is
used
the
to have a
what is the
moose.
plural of moose? Is it mooses?
It's moose.
It's not meese.
No, I used to. My stepdad. Here's a good story. My stepdad, when they were my parents were getting a divorce, my stepdad went out and hunted moose, and he got one. And so he asked me if I wanted the head, and I said sure, no problem. And we used to drive Mr. Moose around in the car with us, and we put outfits on him and sunglasses, and he had a cigarette. He looked awesome. And it was middle of winter, and one day my dad came in and was shaking me and waking me up, going, "What the hell is in the car?" And I went, "I don't know." And he's like, "There's a moose in the car wearing sunglasses. Where did that come from?" And I'm like, "I don't know, Dad. I have no idea." And Dad goes, Your mom's boyfriend. Your mom's boyfriend hunts moose. That's from him. That's from him. What is he doing in the car?" And I go, "Well, we give him rides when we're dragging Maine in my little town." Dad was not happy.
He was not happy.
No, he was yelling and screaming and said he didn't want to see that moose in the afternoon. So,
Oh boy. Well, okay. All right.
what do you do?
Yeah. So anyway, when people live in those areas and they have guns, I say fine. Many times you need them for
Right.
protection. And not against people, but against nature.
Right. We never thought about using our shotgun to shoot a person. Like, why are we going to waste those shells when we're not going to be able to get duck?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So you're good with a shotgun then? Wow.
Yeah.
Those things really blast away, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And I've got a.
In fact, when you
I-
shoot
I
a
don't
duck,
have
when you do
any,
shoot a
like,
duck,
real-
wait a minute. When you shoot a duck with a shotgun, Don't you obliterate the duck?
No, it shoots a pattern. I mean, more than one person has come up to me saying that they found pellets in a duck they were eating.
Oh, well, no, I'll tell you the story. When I was a kid, this is why I never eat wild game anymore. A guy comes over to our house. He's just been out hunting, and he brought back these ducks.
Right.
So my mother puts them in the oven and cooks them for dinner. So now we're all sitting around the dinner table, and we're about ready to go in and start eating the duck. And he says, just watch out for the pellets.
Right.
And after that, I never ate a wild animal again.
That's a pretty common problem. But
yeah.
I've only got one pseudo weapon around here, and the government says it's not really a weapon. I've got a thing that shoots soda cans.
Okay.
About 100 yards.
Yeah.
And it'll take a soda can and run it right through a solid core door.
Now, is it a gun?
It looks like it looks like one of those military guns, except it only takes soda cans.
Okay.
That's, it's not a toy by a long shot because it uses blank cartridges to fire the soda can, but you can have fun with that.
Yeah, you can have fun with it. Sounds like you have fun with it.
Oh yeah, no, I had a great time with that thing, and I would never get rid of it. It's so fun to go blasting that thing out. I'll send you some video. It's good.
Yeah. So what's been happening in your life? You say somebody died this week or something?
Oh yeah, I had a friend. I had two friends pass away. One guy here.
Mm-hmm.
And then a computer guy, Tony Beauvais. He's the guy who created the phrase desktop publishing.
Oh, really?
We lost Tony this week, and
how old was he?
He had pancreatic cancer, probably around my age.
Yeah, that's a very terrible cancer, by the way.
Yeah,
that's like I think I would shoot myself if I got pancreatic cancer. Right?
It was bad, and
and how old did you say he was?
What?
How old did you say he was?
Well, about my age, maybe a little younger.
Wow. When I was your age.
Yeah.
When I was a boy.
Yeah.
The people didn't die.
No,
and then all of a sudden,
there was nobody dying.
All of a sudden, the first thing happened was my friend Bruce David died. Just they found him dead. That was it. He was living up in the hills somewhere, and nothing suspicious. Just I don't know.
Right.
I never wasn't ever told to me what he died of exactly, but he died. And I had three best friends, and so he was like number 3. Okay. Then my friend Steve Gruber goes at 69. Right. He had got lung cancer, and he died. So now there are 2 of my best friends gone. And then my friend Shecky died, and Shecky was my number 1 best friend. And he died. Who have I got left? Nobody's coming to my funeral. No. I haven't got anybody left to go to it.
My stepdad died while I was having a conversation with him in the living room. He just fell over dead.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. It was like the weirdest thing. You're having a conversation, and all of a sudden he stopped answering. And you look over and go, oh, my God, I think he's dead. And he was.
And he was dead. How did you know he was dead? You ever feel his pulse or
we went over there.
Mirror up to
held the little mirror up to his nose. And
wow. Well,
he was dead, all right.
What a great way to go. If you're going to go, I mean, you're sitting there, and all of a sudden, next minute, or you don't know, you're dead.
Right.
We don't know how much you know.
But it was just weird. We're having this normal conversation.
I've read somewhere that sometimes you still have a memory of everything going on around you 15 minutes after you're dead.
Yeah.
And that kind of bothers me. I mean, I die, and then I have to sit around there saying, well, I'm dead, but everybody else is having fun.
See, and I think that what happens after you die, you move to another time frame. Everything is kind of linear, and you move to the next whatever it is.
Well, this all can be practice for something.
You'd hope.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but I doubt it. I think when you're dead, you're dead. I used to
I
ask
don't
my.
think. I can't
I've told
imagine
this.
when you're dead, you're dead.
I've told the story before. I've always had a fear of death, and I said to my father, "I'm afraid of death," and he says, "Well, don't be." And I said, "Why?" He says, "Because you've been there before."
Yeah, exactly.
And I told him I can't understand what it's like to not exist. He said, "You did. Before you were born, where were
Right.
you?" Well, I don't know. Maybe I was somewhere. I don't know.
No, I don't think you can remember that, but I think you literally move over to another road and you're on that one.
Well, there is a theory that what is it called? A certain area of science where there are all these dimensions, and there are, I think,
Right.
up to 7 of them or something, and we're living
Yeah.
in one of them, or the one we're conscious of is one of them. But there are other ones, and another one I may not have even been might not even be a radio announcer. I might have been something else, but that all those dimensions still exist, and so. I often thought that hell maybe is the separation between the two.
Could be.
Between them. Okay, there's this gap, and that you fall into there and nothing happens. So.
Yes. Yeah. I don't. I think you're just around. I mean, they're just the energy that created you.
Yeah.
I don't think goes away.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I don't think.
One time I looked at a couple of trees, and I swear to God they were talking to each other.
Really?
They just looked like they were communicating, and I'm like,
Oh, and nature is, how did I put it? The biggest sentient being on the planet.
yeah,
If you don't think so, folks, just look at what nature's doing to us right now for screwing nature over. I mean, fires and earthquakes and this and that, and it's just the whole planet is kind of changing, and it's attacking us.
it's fighting.
It's fighting
Yeah.
us. Yeah. So I think it's a sentient being. I think we underestimate nature. We underestimate the planet. We take it too much for granted, and we're small thinkers.
I'm with you.
Yeah. But a lot of times I ask people, what happens after you die, and everybody has a different answer. But most people, this thing about religion, saying where you go in heaven and hell and so on, has been so pervasive over the centuries that you begin to wonder if it isn't based on something realistic.
Right. If the Bible is a fable, then who was looking at stuff that created that fable?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I don't know. I'm waiting to see.
We're both still here.
We're both still here. That's good way of putting it. We're both still here.
Yeah, we're both still here. We got that
Yeah.
going for
Well,
us.
I'm going to be 86, and when that happens, we're going to go, geez, In fact, I was talking to Lori yesterday, and I was saying, you just go, why am I still here? Everybody else is going,
Right.
I'm past the sell-by date, okay? And why? And how much longer is this going to go on? I mean, my mother was 100. Well, by then,
Right.
she didn't even know where she was, okay?
Right, but up until that time, she was pretty lucid along the way. I mean, when I was hanging out with her.
For somebody that age, you remember her at an older age, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people did. Lori did, you did,
Yeah. No, she was great.
Well, that's because she wasn't your mother.
Right. That's what everybody says.
She's not
I mean,
she's not my favorite mother, okay?
Right. You don't have. Everybody has a weird problem with their parents, but somebody else's parents are perfectly okay.
Well, here's the thing. I adored my father. He was, if there was anybody who was my mentor, it was my father.
You looked a lot like him.
Well, I don't know if I look a lot like him, but I look
you do.
I look like he could be his son, okay?
Yeah. I mean, there is definitely a resemblance.
There's a little bit of my mother in my face, which is the ugly part. But anyway, so my mother, I love my father. I adored him, and he was a mentor to me, and I looked up to him, and I wanted to be like him. You know, he was a really nice, decent person. And then he died at 59.
Wow.
And I lost my father at a rather early age. I could have used him a little later on for advice, okay?
Right.
But my mother was left. And I never had that much. You know, my mother was just so, you know, she was so cloying and so, I have claustrophobia, and I think it's because of all the hugging and stuff she did with me and how close she kept me to, yeah. And my father was away a lot because he was on the road doing music, you know, with bands and things like that and earning a living to keep us alive. And although he used to call all the time and talk to me and write letters, and, you know, so I didn't feel I didn't have a father. It was just different than other kids because where's your father? Well, he's out on the road. What's the road?
Right.
You know, well, he plays with a band and they go from Lake Tahoe down to L.A. and they go over to such and such, you know, and then they play the band finally settled at a hotel, St. Francis Hotel here in over there in San Francisco.
Right.
And so then he was home all the time, but not at night. Not at night. He always came home late at night, you know, which in most cases you think he was out screwing somebody else, but he was working with a band. Okay.
Right.
But anyway, I loved him. I just adored him. And my mother died, and I've yet to put a tombstone on her grave. But I mentioned that once on the air, and a lot of people called me up and said, I haven't put one on my parents' grave yet either.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't, I probably should do it now, you know.
My parents are about 15 feet to the left here.
Oh, they're in jars?
Yeah. They're sitting on a giant barrel of Jack Daniels.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I got it from Lynchburg, one of those big barrels they use, and they're sitting on that.
Yeah, well, you know, anyway, I just never have done anything about it, and I should feel bad about it, and I'm thinking of pulling up my father's stone and putting down one for both of them across it. I've often joked that it's going to say, you know, here lies Alexander and Ruth Schwarzman, parents of, and then in big giant letters, Alex Bennett.
Oh yeah, triple size the letters.
Yeah, right.
My favorite memory of your mom is sitting on the couch, and we're watching TV, and I look up and I said, "What is above the TV?" And she goes, "Oh, that's Alex's hair."
Oh yes, she kept my hair from when I was a
she had
baby.
this big clump of your hair,
and it was I think it was in a frame. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was amazing.
I don't know why she had kept that. You know.
She worshipped that little frame up there. We had long chats about that thing. It's like, oh, this is going to be with me forever. You know, it was good.
Oh God. That's my mother.
Yeah.
That was my mother. She drove me nuts that way, you know. But she died at 100 and change.
I remember you calling me one day to go to lunch, and I said, well, I can't. And you said, well, why not? And I go, well, because your mom and I are out shopping.
I remember that. You took her out shopping.
It's raining outside, and I didn't want her to fall or anything, so I'm helping her out.
I used to have her walk a block to the grocery store to buy food and bring it back, and I wouldn't pick her up in a car and do it because I wanted her to get that exercise.
Yeah, that's exactly the grocery store we were at.
And people could say, "Well, you were wrong to do that, Alex. That's being a bad child." But how long did she live to be?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so. But so you remember my mother much more fondly than I do. I just was never terribly fond of her. I went to a shrink for like about 2-3 years, and I went because I had a girlfriend that I had broken up with, and I was inconsolable. I was just inconsolable. So I went to the shrink, and we started talking about it. Now it's a year in, and he says, is there anything else you want? Every week I go in, he said, how are you dealing with the girlfriend thing? And I tell him, whatever. So finally, a year and a half later, I say to him, "Can we talk about something else beside her? I'm over her now."
Right.
And he said, "Oh, okay, what?" I said, "I don't like my mother." Now, this is standard psychiatry stuff, right?
Right.
And he said to me, "Okay, now how you doing with the girlfriend?"
Yeah, exactly.
And so that was
That's a
that.
path that could take decades to fix.
Well, listen, we've run out of time here, Chuck,
Oh, no.
and I think we should probably do this again very soon.
I think you're probably right.
And we probably will in about a minute and a half. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Farnham. Thank you, Chuck.
Bye, kids.
Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, everybody. How are you? Thank you, Chuck. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, I think, or maybe next week. I don't know. We'll see you sometime soon, okay? Anyway, welcome to our fine little program. Only one person is waiting to talk to me now. So I guess, they're not used to the Thursday nights now being back again. And we're back again on Thursday nights. So here we are. Okay? All right? The dark spot in my tooth went away. They cleaned it up. Okay. Anyway. I always had this little extra tooth here. Well, the tooth was out here. Now, see that? A dentist wants to get rid of it. Says you don't need it. Look, see, it's kind of out there, and all those are crowded together. So she wants to pull it, but I don't want it to go because I've always kind of felt a certain affection for that odd, bad tooth, So I always kind of looked a little out of whack here. Anyway, I don't know what we're going to do here. I'd like to get a few more people going. I'm sorry if you don't want to talk to me. There are a lot of people. Well, let's see, John Redshaw's out there, and Marco is out there, and they never call. They just chat with each other on the chat. So, anyway, let me wait for one more person to call here. We were talking about my mother and we were talking about my father, and to this day, I miss my father. I really adored him, and he went far too early, and he had, his problem was he died of a pituitary tumor, which today nobody dies from pituitary tumors. But then again, nobody dies from anything anymore. It's just not the same as it was. But anyway, we now have 3 people waiting to come on here. So why don't I just bring them in here, admit all, and then I will do this, and you can see them all coming in here. There's Brian Neary, and there's Tom Yamaguchi, and looking very much like, you really want to be, what's his name, don't you?
Neil
deGrasse.
I'm feeling kind of astronomy now.
Huh?
So
Yeah.
I'm feeling kind of like
Feeling astronomic now?
Yeah.
That would be the proper term, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to get rid of that shirt, that's all.
Yeah, what is that shirt?
Everything else is fine.
Oh, that's Cowboys, isn't it?
Yeah.
You two do not agree on that, do you?
Sunday. Yeah, we play Sunday
Sunday's
night.
a big game. Sunday's a big game.
Oh, I'm going to LA for the Eagles game, but Adrian doesn't know if she wants to go. I said no.
What do you mean Adrian wants to go?
I'm flying down to LA Monday morning, and then cruise around, do tours and all that stuff, and then they play Monday Night Football. They'll stay there the night, and then
is she a fan of the Eagles?
She just wants to do everything with me. That's all.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's so great.
My daughter was, yeah.
Well, but that's so terrific. Well, this isn't a granddaughter. This is a daughter.
Yeah.
See, I thought, let me see. So spend $2,000, seats, way up there a little bit with her, or $1,500 for very close seats, just me.
Oh, you
Sorry.
selfish bastard! You selfish bastard! That's your daughter you're talking about. The thing I like about Brian, actually, is that he became a father late in life, later than most. You were how old when you had Adrian? You were like 45, something like that?
48.
48. Yeah. So he was ready to have a kid. you know, was she a surprise or did you plan on it?
Well, if he had the kid, it would have been a surprise.
No, I'm saying that between he and his
That
si-
lady, I forget
significant used to be, his significant used to be,
her name.
did you plan on it?
We
Or
said
did
we said we would. I said because I just went through a divorce the year before and had an apartment near my house. This thing says it's gonna reboot in 2 minutes, so if you see me disappear, I'll be back.
Okay.
And then
you can stop
we
that,
said-
you know. But anyway, go ahead.
No, then this may I don't know this. through my
Anyway,
work.
hurry
So
up and
anyways,
say what you're going to say before you disappear
okay,
on
2
it.
minutes. Oh my God, so much pressure. So no, yeah. So I said my lease is coming up at the apartment. I want to buy a house, and then I'll get a house. And if we're still together, then if we want to have a kid, we could have a kid. So we thought there was some order, and then I end up buying the house, signed for the house, and then all of a sudden, like 3 weeks later, we found out she was pregnant. So we didn't officially move in the house, but
Yeah.
so that's
Now,
sort of
how
fine.
did you feel when you found out she was pregnant? You probably pretty. Sounds to me like you were ready
Is it
for
mine?
it. Huh?
Is it mine?
Is it yours? That's the first. Well, you always ask that question.
Yeah, of course.
And
And
then,
I still have the ultrasound, and we have one angle of the ultrasound when they're seeing if it's a boy or a girl. It's like a perfect profile, and you can see she had a big nose and she had like a little belly. And I said, yeah, I think that's mine.
well, the reason we know it's your kid is because of how tall she is. Because you're tall.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't worry about that one. You know. And
Yeah,
she adores him. Just adores him.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, hold on, let me yell at her really quick.
So, Mr. Technical, Alex, when I bring up the GabNet thing, to watch the first half hour, all I see is a little circle going round and round. It says, today's date and everything, and that's been happening on and off for the past couple of weeks to me.
Well, I can't help it because I'm looking over here and the thing's been going out just fine. You know.
Yeah, I just called somebody else and they said no, it's going out. So
Yeah, well, no, what you've got a problem with, you get the little ball, right, that goes around and around. What
Yeah.
that is in a Mac, which you have, that goes around. Is it a Mac?
no, I have a Windows PC, a Windows 11.
Oh, really? Windows doesn't have a ball.
No, it's got a little line that's going round and round like a circle.
Oh, okay. Well, it's something wrong with your thing because it's not my. Oh, look, they did. Oh boy. Well, he'll be back.
Yeah.
Anyway, hi Tom.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I would say anything new, but the last time he called us was yesterday, so
Yeah, and I can't call up tomorrow night because I'm going to be out.
he's going to be out. What are you going to be doing?
Oh, I'm going to be watching a movie at my Berkeley Quaker meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a movie night.
How many times can you guys watch Friendly Persuasion?
Actually, I've never seen that. They actually showed it one time. But I didn't go. I have not seen Friendly Persuasion, but I think I will. But actually, I just read the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good book.
Yeah.
Have you ever read it?
No.
Okay, it's a good book.
no.
Friendly Persuasion. It's about.
And then I guess the other movie you could watch is Witness.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
That's Amish. That's an Amish.
Oh, that's
show.
Amish.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's not Quaker. I thought Quaker and Amish were the same. I guess not.
People confuse us. That's okay.
Really? So where would we find Quakers? Would we find them in the same place we find the Amish, or don't they want to hang around with each other?
American Quakers are around Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey. The Amish are more towards the middle of Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but are they at all similar? I mean, do they have any?
Well, I guess people confuse the two because of the plain dress. Also, although the Amish are more towards they don't use any mechanized,
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Like cars and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but Quakers do
Oh.
drive cars and do things like that.
Yeah, and I think they both are against war too.
My
Well,
problem with
at
the
least-
Quakers is going to the cabinet and deciding which Quakers oatmeal I'm going to have.
I find that offensive, and I'm not a Quaker.
Well, actually, we have shown a number of Quaker. I have a friend at the meeting. Her name's Sue, and she's found some really bizarre movies. The worst Quaker movie I've ever seen is called The Deep Six, and it's basically this during World War II. This Quaker man discovers that he's being drafted and decides to go ahead and allow himself to be drafted to go to the Pacific to fight the Japanese, and so he decides to go to visit with his fiance. They're going to visit his Quaker mother to tell her the news, and when they tell her, she is so distraught, she sends him to the liquor closet to make her a drink.
Now, Quakers don't.
It also is a really interesting people. It's got Joey Bishop in it. It's got William Bendix. It's got
They probably don't have any idea what a Quaker is.
probably not. And
We've had a bunch of those in California lately. Oh, that's an earthquaker.
and
Oh,
it's-
jeez, will you stop it already?
I'm
No,
spacing
not
out
you,
the name.
him. What?
I was spacing out on the name, but it's got David Seville, Chipmunks. I'm trying to remember the guy's real name. He's
David Seville is his real name.
No. Is it, oh man, no, his real name. He's a cousin of.
Well, no, he is a cousin of the writer.
Sorry, right?
Sariah. William Sariah.
And oh man,
I'm trying to remember what his real name was. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't
But
David Seville.
anyway, he is in this movie. This is pre.
Yeah, he was an actor. He was an actor. Ross Bagdasarian.
Ross Bagdasarian. That's it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
Thank you.
Why lately I'm coming up with names. I don't know why, because I've been so bad at it recently, and then all of a sudden on the clear blue sky, out comes Ross Bagdasarian.
Well, Ross Bagdasarian actually plays an Armenian in the film.
Yeah, he was an actor in films before he did, the Chipmunks and the Witch Doctor. He did.
Yeah, well, the Witch
and then
Doctor
he had his first hit was his daughters singing "Tonight You Belong to Me," Patience and Prudence.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
But I know that Witch Doctor was the first one where he did the experiment with speeding up his voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he did the Chipmunks Christmas song, and now his son has taken over the franchise.
Really?
His
Okay.
son's rebooted with all the movies. And stuff.
Yeah, but he was the nephew of
William Sariah.
William Sariah, who
They wrote
"Come On to My House."
Yeah. Come
Yes.
On.
How do I know these things?
Rosemary Clooney.
Yeah, how do I know these things though?
Yeah.
Why did I even remember that?
So doesn't the Quakers doesn't it mean something about the religion, society of friends or something
Well,
like that?
basically, it was originally designed, came up with as a derisive term. Yeah, the actual name is Religious Society of Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Call
that's
ourselves
what
Friends,
I've
Friends
heard.
meeting.
That's what I
And
heard.
and so, but a lot of times when in our silent meetings, when we're moved to speak, a lot of times people be noticed to be really like.
Well, let me explain this to me. Silent meetings? How's that a meeting?
Yeah. Well, basically, what Quakers do is they sit in silence.
Mm-hmm.
At least the unprogrammed friends do that. We sit in silence, and when moved to speak, we get up and speak.
Oh, I see. But if somebody, like you're being quiet through the whole thing, and somebody says something that you don't agree with, do you just go,
No, we basically just told that person light.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
Yeah.
think, well, maybe there's something in this message for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I need to be positive.
And if you're a Quaker, you don't have to serve in the military if you don't want to, right? Because you're exempted because of your religion.
Well, you have to get a CO status for sure.
Yeah.
Isn't it part
Yeah.
of Christianity?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yes, of course, but that doesn't mean you can't be against killing.
Oh, I
Yeah. Well,
agree.
that's
but
the
it's
whole
not.
the whole point. Is
In fact, you
Jesus
should be
talked about
against
it.
killing.
Yeah.
I dated a girl for a week that was a Quaker.
Oh, good. Okay.
For a
great.
week?
For a week.
Well, that
Yeah.
doesn't exactly give you bragging rights.
No, I'm not bragging. I just know a little bit about them. So
Okay. What did she tell? Did she? Was it she actually a member of a meeting?
she was. Her whole family was.
Okay. Which meeting? Do you know? Remember?
No.
What do you
this
mean
is
by meeting? There's a
Yeah,
a
it's
long time ago.
we're organized by meetings. like
That's like a
I'm a member of the
congregation.
Berkeley meeting.
okay.
I mean,
It was like 30 years ago, and it was in like Oakland or Berkeley, where she was from. So I
Okay, well,
assume.
she could have been a member of the meeting I'm attending now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say the meeting, there are it's almost like you're saying a church, right? You're saying a
No, we
particular
don't
place.
call it a church, but
Right.
there are Quaker churches. In fact, Berkeley has a Quaker church. My daughter's a
Oh,
member of
really?
that.
Okay, so it's a church as well, but
Yeah, yeah.
the group you go to is a meeting.
Yeah, it's unprogrammed.
Yeah. See how much you learn out of this program?
Hey, when you come to the Bay Area, maybe you can stay and come over and visit our meeting.
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe not. I don't know. I don't, when I go to when I go to places, different cities, I don't tell people I'm coming. I let them know once I'm there if I want to see them. You know, that's why this time it's kind of a little hard because everybody's going to know that I'm going to be in the Bay Area. In fact, I'm coming in a day early to
Right.
go to this thing for the
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame for Alive 105. So,
days.
so Lori's coming a day early too, and we're both going to do it. And
Last night it was 2 days early.
huh?
You're coming in one night, and the next day you go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm coming the day before. I'm going to the Hall of Fame, and then the day afterwards, we're doing my show, which is only an hour and a half. So I just sit there and watch people do stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what the what we still have to. I've been told we have to sit down and figure out the show. And I figure, I just sneeze a couple of times and it's over with. So,
Start
They're not
talking
gonna
about
roast
your
you?
medical problems. Everybody goes, "Oh God, Alex is one of us."
yeah, well, I'm gonna. My first line, I'm sure I'm gonna say, I've already figured it out. Is this is thank you so much for coming by tonight. I know that a lot of you are sitting out there and poking the other person next to you and saying, "I don't look that bad, do I?" Because that's what Marjorie and I do all the time when we see somebody on television, and we go, "Yeah, I don't look as bad as they do I?"
God, I hope you're not honest with her. I mean, she's a good-looking lady, but I hope you're always, saying, "Oh, you're much better looking than those people."
Yes, of course I do. I'm not stupid.
I,
I'm married.
I don't know the way
I'm
you
not
posed-
stupid. I
the
agree
way
with
you
everything.
posed that just now. I wasn't sure if you were going to tell her, well, actually, that lady over there is better.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to her completely. I say to her,
Completely.
you're not as young as you used to be. So
Well, nobody is.
nobody is. So what the hell? Anyway, hello, Josh. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
What's happening?
Not a whole lot.
Working your ass off?
I have been, yeah. I'm off tomorrow. So
You're off tomorrow. You're off on Fridays, are you?
No, off tomorrow. I haven't taken a day off since long time, so I took a day off tomorrow.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a couple days I need to use so that I don't lose them.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you have the days due you, so why not use them?
Yeah, we had a lot, I work for a telecommunications company, and in one of my areas that I manage, there was what's called a build going on. So it's a new area they're adding where they're installing their fiber for the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And since there was a build, it was incredibly busy. with construction material. So
When you say a
that-
telecommunications company, I mean, what kind of stuff does it do? Is it,
they provide television and internet to consumers.
oh, to consumers? Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh, all right.
home television and internet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I work on the supply chain side. I manage warehouses in 3 states, so some of it's construction material for maintenance or for builds, and some of it is what they call the consumer parts, which would be your modems and your cable boxes and all that kind of stuff. It's a large one. It's on the New York Stock Exchange. I don't want to say which one I work at, but I'll tell you offline if you want to know.
Well, you'll tell me when I talk to you on the weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. I would probably know them then.
So there's so there's like I said, in the area that one of the areas I manage, the home area that I have here closest to me, they're new to this area.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, there's a build going on where they're actually installing they're pulling the fiber into, the areas that they need to go to.
Everybody's gone fiber, haven't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's the deal. I mean, they're moving, everyone's moving away from cable. Cause
I mean,
fiber-
when I first got fiber, I was with Verizon, and I got fiber. That was something totally new, man. Oh man, and it was clean and fast and so on. And now it seems like everybody has it, even Spectrum, who I hear is the worst cable company in America. You know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be faster and like more efficient and all that. I'm not the expert on that side of it. Like I said, I do the supply chain side, but it's.
So I wouldn't have anything else but that.
Supposed to be the best kind or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have fiber where you are, Brian, in your new place? Do you have fiber?
I don't think so.
Oh, really? Well, then you should eat some bran
Doctor said
cereal
I'm-
for crying out loud. Then you get your
Doctor says I'm
fiber.
very regular. He says I don't need fiber.
And then there's that old David Feldman joke. I got so much fiber, I don't have hemorrhoids. I've got rope burn.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
I love that thing.
Yeah, good line. Good line. That's when David Feldman was funny. Anyway. Ooh. Yeah. What I love about Alan is that we never quite see him. We just see the top of his cap.
I've seen him. It's nothing big.
It's nothing worth looking at.
No big deal.
Oh,
No
okay,
big deal.
fine.
That's funny. I was going to say the same thing about you, Brian.
So anyway,
Brian makes more money than me, so
Yeah.
it doesn't.
I make no money right now. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm unemployed too.
well, I thought you got a job.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm consulting still a little bit, but I have a interview tomorrow and Tuesday at Baxter. So
But
What-
you
what-
consult for free?
what was that?
You consult for free? You said you have no money.
No income.
Don't they pay you for your consultation?
What is Baxter?
Consulting, yes, but I don't have that many hours.
What is Baxter? I never heard of Baxter.
Baxter's a huge company. They like surgeries. They have like, I think this one facility they want me to run. They have they do a lot of the packaging stuff, but they have some liquid stuff that when they do surgeries, they sort of goop that in and it sort of fills up and heals stuff quicker and stuff like that.
Isn't that
Yeah.
like crazy glue? I mean, that's what crazy glue
sort of,
originally was used for, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good opportunity. It's a big company. Nice to get into a stable position again, and yeah. So we'll see.
I wish
We'll see.
somebody here were an exciting company, but you're all working with you're doing that, and he's doing telecommunications, and nobody here's in movies or has a TV show or anything like that. So. And my life as a total
Steve
bore.
Fox is as close as we get.
If Steve Fox is as close as we get, that's the voice of GabNet currently. Yeah, Steve Fox works over at KQED in San Francisco. But who knows how long he's going to have a job, because the Fund for Public Broadcasting, whatever that thing was called, they've taken the money away from them. So they've stopped being in existence. So there's no way of distributing money to a lot of these stations. Stations like San Francisco, like KQED, are going to probably survive simply because they have a large enough audience. But you get out to the sticks where, there was a PBS station and all this, they got some money for doing it. They're probably going to have to close down.
In fact, there are already closed down because they're out in little markets where their only source of funding was the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Right.
And actually, also NPR actually got direct funding from the federal government. That got cut off too. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Steve Fox. In fact, he was working this past weekend in the mornings, but he doesn't have any problem because people have actually stepped up and their fundraising has drastically increased as a result of this.
Well, what I imagine, see, that's a good example of KQED in San Francisco can make that kind of money because they have a large enough audience. In fact, KQED radio, people don't realize this in many cases, is the #1 station in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Right.
And it used to be, it was way back down at like number 20 or whatever, and all of a sudden, by attrition, it became the #1 station. So when they ask for money, it comes pouring in,
Yeah, they made a good move to go completely to news and information. They used to do like a lot of music, and then they just scrapped the music and went completely with as I said, with news. Information and stuff like that. They've got great programs.
But you go to a place like Klamath Falls, Oregon, where there's a PBS station. Goodbye, see you later. No way to keep it on the air. So it's a bad situation all the way around. I mean, I got to tell you, one of the first stations I ever worked for, did anything for, was KQED in San Francisco. I worked kind of as a volunteer or whatever, but I worked as a stage manager and things like that. And now, kids like myself won't have that ability to learn the business by being at something like a public broadcasting station. So it's not fun. It's not nice. It's not good. It's terrible.
I think the new Ken Burns documentary was at least well timed to help them out. This year, because I'm sure it'll be very popular, and I've heard that it helped him raise quite a lot of money. We'll see how far that goes, right? But
the Vietnam War.
Well, Ken Burns will always find funding for his.
Yeah,
stuff.
his new one debuted just Sunday night. It's his latest documentary is The American Revolution. So.
Oh, the American, yeah.
And that's something you must love watching. Are you?
I saw about the first hour. I haven't seen the rest.
What do you think so far?
Well, so far it was good. I mean,
because I'd imagine you'd be the guy sitting there going, "Well, that's not right."
Well, no, they get their stuff right,
Mm-hmm.
And one of their main contributing advisors was the Journal of the American Revolution, where I've been contributing.
Mm-hmm.
So my editor, Don Hagest, you will see appear in the program a couple times. And the associate editor, a guy named Edward Lingle, you will see in the program a couple of times if you watch it. They weren't in the first hour that I watched, but over the 6 episodes, they're in there a few times, and there's some articles in the Journal this week that were written, and it has some pictures of them, sitting around with the people at the Journal and letting them fact check their work and everything. Because Ken Burns said that, he'd never really come across anything like the Journal, where it was a group of experts in the field, but it wasn't just these broad experts. You have a lot of people like myself or others. I have a very condensed part of the American Revolution, about a 1-year period. Even though I know a ton about the entire deal, right? I have a small period of about 10 or 11 months where I have super microscopic detailed with research and knowledge, and that's where I publish articles and things like that about. So that's why they went to the journal, because it has experts that do the same thing that I do for other periods. And while mine is a military history, they have guys who do the economy or, the social effects, the politics, the money, whatever, So
he also recreated in this one. He did
good.
something he never did in any of his other documentaries, because most of his documentaries he actually had footage of the times. Okay,
Yeah, right.
Like Prohibition and so on and so forth. In this thing, he doesn't really have any footage. There was no video back then. There was no film
right,
back then. There wasn't even any cameras back then, basically.
Right.
So he's had to recreate some things with actors, right? In this thing.
Yeah, they did. They did that, and they filmed at a lot of historical sites on location. Running through Independence Hall with their cameras or whatever. The National Park Service was very cooperative, apparently, and let them in, during after hours and things to do a lot of filming. And they have a ton of media content, maps and journals that they'll show you, the original journal, and and this one has a lot of on-camera interviews with the historians. Unlike, like he said in their Vietnam series, not a single one of their historians appeared on camera. It was all the veterans and
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
people like that. But like you said, but on this one we can't do that. So in lieu of that, we put the boring people up there, the historians. So they that's how
I
they
haven't
do it.
watched it yet. It's a long
No,
slog.
I haven't. Like I said, I saw the first hour.
It's a long slog. It's about 10 hours long, I believe.
That's 12. Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's going to have to cut. I wonder where he begin. I know where he probably will begin it is from the very beginning, where there's no United States yet, and the whole thing started to happen.
It's where you would think that it would be.
But where do you? At what point do you end it? When does the American Revolution officially end?
I don't know when he plans to end it. I haven't seen the last episode yet. I don't know if they're gonna. I mean, I've heard from people that contributed. They certainly covered the Constitutional Convention.
Mm-hmm.
So and ratification. So they're at least up to like 1789.
Right.
I don't know how much further they went past that. I'm not sure where they stop, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know they go at least that far, and they started at a logical point. They basically, when it starts out, they're going to tell you that the French and Indian War took place on American soil, and when it ended, that began a slow, steady path to independence.
Right. Right.
So it was,
What side did the American Indians fight on?
Well, depending on what American Indian you're asking about, I guess they all pick different sides.
Right.
They all did pick different sides.
Yeah, some of them changed sides just for whatever. Maybe they were Indian givers, I guess. But
Oh, jeez.
All right.
they changed sides. I mean, they're people just like everybody else, and then some tried to remain neutral, and that got them in more trouble than if they had picked sides. And the American Revolution is one of the most complicated events, honestly, in world history, because
The one thing I know about the Revolution more than any other, the first person killed in the American Revolution was, if I'm not mistaken, Crispus Attucks, right?
I mean, I mean, if that's where you. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was
considered the first. Probably. I guess you could say that. I mean, he was killed in the Boston Massacre, right? So 1773.
Yeah, and he was black.
Or whatever. So I mean, yeah, correct. Yes, he was a African American. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Does it get into the whole slavery issue with the?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Because I mean, they've got you had some very heavy.
Obviously, if they go to the Constitution, that's a major part of the.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Constitution. Yeah.
I was surprised when they did the Constitution that they didn't include slavery, the abolishment of slavery. I mean, we would have thought that with the idea of what they had for America, slavery would be an anathema to them.
Well, they were trying
well, I
to out
mean,
together.
they just couldn't have done it. I mean, there were certainly people that made that argument, but they did agree to abolish the slave trade in 1808. That was written in, and that there could be no more importation of slaves after 1808.
I didn't know that.
Which, yeah, it's the only provision in the Constitution that had an actual, date, for beginning and expiration. It was to expire in 1808. Now, I understand the argument that some people say, well, by doing that, all you did then was make the slaves that were already here more valuable, right?
Yeah.
Because you'd cut off the supply of future slaves. Clearly, that's correct, and I understand that. But if you would spend any time at all looking, you would pretty quickly realize that if you had been at the convention and you'd had a hard line that said we're going to abolish slavery, and that's that, the convention would have just dissolved and things would have, it just wasn't going to happen. Evidence of that.
Well, it wasn't going to happen because in the immortal words of George Washington, who's going to cook dinner? So. Anyway.
Yeah. So there would have been no deal. There would have been no government formed if people had said we're going to end slavery.
By the way, there was white slavery in America in that there were indentured servants in the North who were white.
Yeah, but that was totally different.
Well, they still.
In fact, my Irish ancestors came as indentured servants. Sure. But they earned their freedom. They worked in the Pennsylvania coal mines, but they earned their freedom. I mean, the slaves and the black slaves, no way they could earn their freedom. In fact, they had their kids taken away from them, and then their kids became slaves. So there's just no comparison.
Well, they were treated as basically as chattel. They were no different than a cow or a horse or whatever in the eyes of a landowner who had slaves. And the only difference was some of the slave owners were okay. They treated their slaves well because it was stupid not to. Because if you didn't treat them well, it wasn't going to work for you. But that's another story.
Yeah, slavery was still slavery as it were, which is, what it is. But yes, not every single slaveholder, in fact, most did not employ the violent methods of discipline that you typically see in like movies now, right? I think some Hollywood movies would have you think that every plantation had a whipping of a slave every day of the week, right? And that was not the case. But again, when you mention that, it's sad, but I always have to give the disclaimer, but like, I'm not saying that they,
that they didn't do
weren't
that.
in a fucking resort or anything. Okay, I'm not making that
Hey,
argument.
listen, as long as you are a slave to somebody else, you are, there's nothing good about that,
Correct. Yes.
Right. But the fact that there were some that treated them well should be known,
right. It's a fair part. Well, it's a fair representation of history. There were overwhelming amount of plantations that went years, if not ever, without ever having to physically discipline a slave.
I think the most accurate portrayal of slavery in any movie that I've ever seen was Mandingo.
Oh.
That is one hilarious movie. I can't be. If you've never seen it, go watch it sometime. You'll cringe at how bad that film is. And it starred, who was it? The boxer, Ken Norton, played the Mandingo slave. And it was. What?
But I'm sure the Burns documentary will cover, the slavery issue.
I'm sure.
Pretty well. Not quite the same way they did in the Civil War documentary for obvious reasons, but I know that they're not gonna gloss over. I mean, I've read some about it. I've read some interviews with him in the journal and things like that. So I mean, I'm positive that they're covering it. But
Yeah.
it's it's supposed to be an informative, documentary from what I've heard.
Yeah. So, in other news, what has happened? Has Trump's best friend left the country yet? Guess he has. Shake whatever his name is. Shake your booty.
Yeah, right. That's
What has been going on with Trump lately? Not the before wasn't pathetic, but this is even worse. Okay, the latest thing is he wrote a post on his whatever Truth Social. Wow, is that a wonderful name for it?
Yeah.
On Truth Social, in which he once again went after Jimmy Kimmel. Doesn't this guy ever just decide to put out tweets or whatever those things are called, twats, I should call them, that have some decency to them? But no, he's got to go after and when he goes after Kimmel, it's like the untalented Jimmy Kimmel who has no ratings, and it's wonder he still has a job. And if they don't shut him up soon, he says he's going to take away ABC's license. Now I got news for you: ABC doesn't have a license.
Their affiliates.
Their affiliates, the stations they own, have licenses. But the network itself doesn't have a license. They simply sell their programs to individual stations who broadcast them and share in some of the revenue from those shows that are on that network, or not. But anyway, the idea, he doesn't even know what broadcasting is about. You can't, there's no, you show me a license that ABC has as a network, and you can't find one. There just isn't. So, I mean, what a moron.
Yeah.
He's been quiet about South Park, and South Park's still ripping him up.
Oh, he hasn't touched South Park.
I know, he did that one time. Didn't he do it one time? And then that's it.
Well, South Park is on Comedy Central, which is now owned by Sundance, or Skydance, which owns Paramount now. And they're getting rid of Colbert, okay. But they have told, they just renewed Comedy Central, the Daily Show. They just renewed it for another year. And so far as South Park is concerned, those guys have what? Is it a 5-year contract or a 10-year contract? Now that is, it gives them the right to do anything they damn please. And this has got to be driving Trump nuts. I mean, Trump is portrayed on that show as having a micro penis.
Yeah.
Every single time, every single episode, not just one time.
Last episode, they didn't really show it that much, but they really were overdoing it, you know. Well, no, they weren't doing it enough. Okay, let me.
I could say the truth hurts, but not in his case.
Yeah. But I think they're going to, he hasn't gone after South Park, and that's amazing. He hasn't gone after The Daily Show either. And The Daily Show is, they spend every night putting him down. Now, I understand why he can't stand Kimmel. Kimmel's constantly berating him from the beginning of the show to the end of the show, But it's horrible. It's just horrible. And then now he must be getting really pissed at the whole Comey thing. Because he wanted to get even with Comey, right? And he was going to charge him with criminal, whatever, and this and that. And it turns out he handed the whole thing over. They handed this whole thing over to this amateur lawyer, this woman, who forgot to give all the information to the grand jury. So they were not completely given all the information, the proper information. And now the judges think he just thrown the damn thing out. Yeah. And when that happens, Trump is going to be livid,
Well, Pam Bondi or Biondi or whatever.
Bondi.
she signed off on it, so she's in trouble too. So not only did they file the wrong charges, but they said the attorney general signed off on it. So in theory, they could both be disbarred.
Well, what has Pam Bondi ever done of a legal nature? Was she a lawyer?
Yes,
she was a lawyer.
General of Florida.
Oh,
She's
the Attorney General of Florida. Okay. Do you have to be a lawyer to be Attorney General in Florida?
I don't know if you have to be a lawyer, but
all I know is he's got amateurs running the show. Okay, so you got to expect something like what went on to get on, because like that woman, he first saw her on a golf course and she was wearing a suit, and that impressed him. And then he gave her a job there, and Bondi put her in charge of the Comey thing, and she was then in court pleading it. And she's an amateur, a complete and total amateur. And the whole country's being run by amateurs, you know? Yep. So what can we say?
Marjorie Taylor Greene the other day called Pam Bondi a bozo on Fox News.
Well, she is a bozo. They're all bozos. I mean, come on. The Secretary of Defense is a guy who used to have a show on weekends on Fox. I mean, he didn't even have a weekday show, you know?
And Dr. Oz.
Well, Dr. Oz, I'll tell you where I found I find him one of the more reasonable people of the ones in a position of strength there. But only because I think there are things medically he just can't put up with. I don't think he likes RFK that much, you know.
Think? RFK's talking about Tylenol or something, and he's standing there next to the president.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he's that happy with it.
He does not want to be standing there.
But what I couldn't see is, okay, so I'm going to find a job for Dr. Oz. What job would you give Dr. Oz? Oh, none of you can come up with one. I can come up with a good one.
I'd give him RFK's job.
I'd make him Surgeon General.
I wouldn't, but that would be one job I guess they could give him.
No, but I mean, he was not a bad surgeon, okay? He was very, very well known for a while as being a good surgeon. What?
Right. He was a cardiologist.
Cardiologist, yeah. Although I think Jeff, if he were here, he kind of got to know him a little bit when he was having his problems, and said, "Yeah, but he's a real asshole," you know. And I used to work with him at Sirius XM, and everybody around them there knew him as an asshole. So it was really, it was not good, not good.
You mean he was a proctologist?
Yeah, I mean, that's what
no, he was. No, he was a cardiologist. He was a heart surgeon, and supposedly a very good heart surgeon. But that's only the rumors I heard. And then he went on television, did that dopey TV show where he was always plugging various potions, trying to sell his people, and I lost all his ethics. Okay, that's really what happened. And when you go to work for Donald Trump, you've really given up all your ethics. So, what the hell? So it looks like that room of yours there, Kevin, is getting a little sparse.
Yep. Boxes are moving.
Boxes are moving. Now, who's taking them upstate? Not you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
I already got 2 containers up there that landed today. So.
Well, no, but you say that somebody took the containers up there, right?
Those 2, yeah, the pods.
The pods, yeah.
Yeah.
Now what do you do?
Now it's just leftover stuff, and I have a 20-foot trailer outside.
Boy, I can't imagine. How long have you lived in that house?
26 years.
26 years. So you've got 26 years worth of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how if I had to move out of here, and I'm only here for, 15 years, something like that?
Yeah, I can be a bit of a pack rat as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I just leave it all here and say, you take care of it, But I mean,
I got a lot of, memory stuff, and then I got a lot of stuff that I use for tools, and I mean, my garage is the biggest part of it.
Now, do you have people that are helping you?
No.
Really?
I'm doing it all myself.
Oh, wow. I would hire somebody to help me if I ever had to move out of here. But as I said, I would just leave it all here. Screw it, you know.
Yeah, that's the easy way until the landlord charges you to remove it, huh?
And I say to the landlord, come find me.
Mm.
You know. No, but we're never leaving this place.
My next move would be that way.
Yeah.
But not this one.
But
I'll do it
Marjorie and I were talking about it. I mean, we said, well, we could get ourselves a little place to live in California or something like that. But we keep this place. You know, we're not giving it up. What, $550 a month?
Is there anything in your lease or anything that says you have to live there?
No.
Oh, well,
No,
that's a great deal.
I just can't sublet it, you know.
Well,
Is that the same as Airbnb in it?
Well, I wouldn't even do
Then you could
that.
just
You
rent
know,
it out
I wouldn't want to risk because they will look at any excuse to get us out of here.
Yeah.
I would not give them that excuse. Okay, so Airbnb it would be an excuse, and you know,
Yeah.
a couple other things.
well, you don't really need the money, so just leave it as your New York pied-à-terre. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Where you go get away.
all right, go get away. Yes. Anyway, so let me see here. So we've covered just about everything, haven't we?
No, actually, you know, the biggest outrage from Trump today was saying that the 6 senators and Congress people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when when he feels people aren't. Well, wait a minute. Let me before you say that. Donald Trump, when he feels nobody's paying attention to him, suddenly says something outrageous to keep the dialogue going. And this, tell him what he said today. It's amazing.
Basically, it was, I guess it was on Tuesday, 6 Democratic senators and representatives made a video telling.
And these were all people who had been in the military.
Yeah. They've all either been in the military or intelligence, and they said told the service people, if you do not have to obey an illegal order.
No, that's true. It's true. It's part of the code of the whatever.
Yeah, so when you were in the military, you were told that, right?
Well, there's a whole code of things which, you know, you are not supposed to do something which is illegal. You know, if you're asked to do it by your superiors to do something illegal, you have the right to say, no, I won't do that.
So now Trump has decided that this is an act of sedition and that the people who made the statement need to be hanged.
Yes. That would include who? Mark Kelly, I think is his name?
Mark Kelly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what an idiot. What a moron. Why do you say that? Why do you even insinuate that? You know?
Because he's losing his mind.
He is losing his... Well, no, he lost it a long time ago.
That's
trying to make you look at the shiny object.
Well, that's true.
Yep.
That's true. So what do you think is going to happen with the whole, you know, releasing the Epstein files? Do you think they're really going to get... Huh? You know, I don't think we're going to see him either. Not for a long time.
Not during this presidency.
You know, they'll have an excuse. Oh, there are too many names there that we don't want to reveal. Oh, we have to redact names, so now you're going to see that every other line has a black line through it, and some of them probably were the name Trump. Okay? So, I mean, that's their excuse now. Their excuse now is that what did they say? They were going to do something. They were going to go after Democrats who knew Epstein. And they're saying now that, well, you know, while that's in play, we can't give you any information. You know, it's an ongoing investigation. So we're not going to see it.
Well, the Republicans are just falling apart. I mean, Johnson thought he had a deal with Thune that once the bill got to the Senate, they were just going to put up all kinds of obstacles to keep it from going through, and instead Thune just sent it right through. And since Trump said he was going to sign it, he signed it in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. But he did sign it, so we'll see what happens. I'm open to what'll happen. Who knows?
He signed it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
That's when Trump signed it.
Yeah, usually when he signs something that he's proud of, he has this big, you know, ceremony to have all the people gathered so they can watch him sign. But this he did quietly in the night.
Yeah, wow, wow. So anyway, I mean, it's sad. It's really sad that,
Yeah.
that we don't have some semblance of order. I mean, I told Marjorie, I said, one day I would love to wake up and not hear that man's name all day, But then you turn on the TV set, Trump, 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 Trump.
Yeah.
He has to dominate the national conversation every single day. And he does it by loading the news full of really stupid things like him and the guy from the Mideast who was it, Sheikh, what do they call him, MBS or someone?
MBS, right?
Yeah, MBS. Just by saying, here's my good friend MBS. And when the reporter said, what do you have to say about, the suggestion that you killed Khashoggi? And he says, how dare you ask a guest in our country that kind of question? That's a horrible question.
Yeah.
And you go,
Your friend Bill Mann said that MBS stands for Mr. Bonesaw.
Mr. Bonesaw.
Bonesaw.
Oh, boy. But anyway, I mean, it's really something that, that he would say that. And then do you see where he called a reporter Piggy?
Yeah, a woman reporter.
Yeah. Piggy, 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 piggy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and all the men in the room just didn't say anything. Nobody said anything.
Well, nobody said anything because they were afraid they'll all be denied access.
That's right. Exactly.
And their job for their network is to have access.
Exactly.
And they're intimidated. Some of the reporters are starting to do it, like that woman the other day who asked MBS about Khashoggi, okay? Yeah. And then he got very mad at that, and then she asked a follow-up question of Trump, are you going to release the Epstein files, or are you in the Epstein files, or something like that? And he said, I don't like the way you talk to me. And she was very polite in her questioning, And then he just said, you're a terrible reporter, and you come from a terrible network, ABC, and I really think we should go after their license. But
I used to do that to Caitlin Conrad too. That's why you don't see her in there that much.
Oh yeah, well she's really good too. You know.
Yeah, she don't take no shit. She'll stand there and take it.
Yeah.
Fire right back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's just does things that, here we're talking about him, right? We shouldn't be talking about him. We shouldn't have any reason to be talking about him. But he's a real piece of work.
Oh, we should start talking about prostate cancer again.
Yeah. We
Same thing.
We could do that if you want to.
Yeah, what Kevin said was correct. Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah. Anyway, let me see here. Let me start playing.
Same as talking about butt polyps too.
Well, butt polyps. butt polyps? Okay.
Trump, same thing.
Butt
right?
polyps. Yeah. What's the difference between well, here's a question. What's the difference between Donald Trump and a butt polyp?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, that was going to be my answer.
Butt polyp has more common sense.
Yeah, could be. Hey, listen, it's been great having you all here tonight. It got to be a decent little group here. Tom Yamaguchi, always a pleasure to have you here. I always say that, and I mean it. And our old friend Charlie Wallace. Glad you could join the Happy Fizzies party here. And you, Alan, wonderful that you decided to join us. Josh, good talking with you. Of course, Brian Neary, wonderful. Is Adrian there staying with you?
Yeah, she's upstairs.
She's upstairs, okay. She doesn't hear us talking about her.
Yes.
We say her name 3 times and she shall appear.
No.
And finally, Kevin, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Okay? All of you give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. Okay? There they go, folks. That's the citizen panel. Okay, there they go. Okay, thank you so much. By the way, next is Amy Emanuel. She's here with The Intersection. She'll be following our program immediately, and if you want to call her, you can call her on Zoom. Go to gabnet.net, third column, down at the bottom. Her name is there. Click on it, and it takes you onto her Zoom address, okay? In the meantime, I'll see you again tomorrow night, same time, same station in life, and in the meantime, if you see her, of course, tell her I love her. Bye-bye, everybody.